Morning, everybody. It's Dave. Just kind of kicking back here on Sunday morning, drinking some coffee, eating some brownies. It's been pretty delicious. This week, I thought I'd kind of go over some of the sayings and maxims that I like, things that I kind of build my life around or I just find amusing. I think the first one is the one that I heard the earliest. My mother and my grandfather used to say all the time, hard work makes me lucky. I've always liked that kind of sentiment. I think the perfect example of that is that when I went to clean my mother's ranch up to prepare it for sale, there was a young man who I hired to help me, and he did such a fantastic job. And during the course of the time, I found out that he wanted a tractor so that he could start a business plowing the fields around where he lived. And I had a tractor for sale, so I sold it to him really super cheap. Why? Because he was working hard. I couldn't take the tractor with me, and I might have lost $1,000 in what I could have got for it, but I got a lot in the way of karma, I think. And so I know that he's out there using that tractor right now to improve his life. So then the next one, of course, is just one of my favorite ones because it's funny. It's never insult a man until you walk a mile in his shoes. That way, when you insult him, you'll be a mile away and you'll have his shoes. So I just think that's kind of funny, but it does bring about some seriousness. It's kind of based on an axiom that if you must have a great battle after a journey of 1,000 miles, what should you ensure? That it's your enemy that travels the 1,000 miles. So it does have a little bit of basis. Another one that I really like because of the political theme and the theme that people just don't pay much attention. And there was a gentleman by the name of Edward Yashinsky, and first he was jailed by the Nazis during World War II, and then after Russia was liberated, and that section of Russia was back under Russian control, they threw him in jail. And so his saying is that fear not your enemies, for they can only kill you. Fear not your friends, for they can only betray you. Fear only the indifferent, who allow the killers and betrayers to walk without fear on the face of the earth. And that one's a little heavy. I'd say my next favorite one is from John Lennon. And John Lennon said something brilliant when he said, life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. Because that's so true. How many times have we thought about, we're going to go to college and we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we want to play this. And other things just come up that turn out to be just as cool and they distract you from what your original goals were. So I've always liked that saying that what life is what happens to you when you're busy making other plans. And then finally, this is more of a conversation than a quote, but I think it's very awesomely funny. So Lady Astor and Winston Churchill absolutely hated one another. And they were at a party one night, and Lady Astor walked up to Winston Churchill and she said, "Sir, you are drunk." And he said, "Yes, and you are ugly, but in the morning I shall be sober." So, just a little bit of humor to end that with. I want you guys to have a good weekend. Don't worry about anything. Just chill. The week's news has been just too bonkers to pay attention to. Just don't. Have a good time, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye now.